Okay, so here we have two photo apps side by side. One is Paint.net, which is it's a very good photo editing app, but it does have its limitations. And then I use Affinity Photo, which is Serif Europe Affinity's product line. I also use Designer, which is it's like Illustrator. It's got other things you can do with text and other things, which I use a lot. And then Publisher, which is great for multi-page documents, brochures, booklets, cards, greeting cards, things like that. Anyway, I'm focusing here on the photo app. This is Affinity Photo, kind of like Photoshop. And this is Paint.net, kind of like Photoshop, right? That type of app. Affinity is very well priced, not expensive at all. Paint.net's free. Now, free's great, but it comes with its limitations. Let's see now. Say I want to take this background image. All right, I want to take this background image. I'm going to have to usually what I do is I select it, I copy it, and here's my background. I'm going to paste it in. It happens to be the same size. Okay. And then now, say I want to take, here I have a picture of a young child. This is actually my wife when she was a little kid. And now I'm going to paste her in. Now, that doesn't really work too well, does it? It's supposed to be transparent. Wasn't quite ready for that. Oh, see, this is one thing. This is one of the limitations that gets me. I'm so used to working in the other app. So I'm going to undo some steps here. So this is transparent. Here I have Bigfoot. Here I have her. These are transparent images. Actually, what I should have done was just copy it, not select it, and paste it. And see, it's still not working right. It doesn't seem to. Let me go to Affinity Photo. Now here we have Affinity, right? Now here I have her. Let me copy her. Maybe this is the wrong. I may have to start this video over when I figure out what's going on. Actually, let me grab the background, paste it in like I did in the other app. Grab her, paste it in. Now you see this right off the bat. See, she's completely transparent. I can paste her in anywhere. There's none of that checkerboard stuff. Maybe I'm doing it wrong here, but it's not very intuitive. It's just not intuitive. I should be able to go here and just select this thing. Let me try this again. I've done this before. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here, where you can use transparent images. Okay, this is the problem. I found it because it's been a while since I used this app. See, with something like this or Photoshop, you don't really have to think about it, right? What's annoying about Paint.net rather, is they do everything in one layer and they flatten it immediately. You have to manually add another layer. This is the thing. Now I'm in this layer. I can copy this, and now it should work. See? I had to manually create the layer and now paste her in. Okay? So here she is. It doesn't matter where I put her. That's not the point. So now, if I want to, say, use another element, say this Bigfoot dude, right? I have to remember, now, if I paste him in this layer, he's in there with her, and they're forever linked, okay? Like, if I do this, keep canvas size, he's pretty big. right now I can play with them, right? But the minute I can't, once I hit escape and he's in there, right? Now if I select them, look at this. This is ridiculous, right? Other people will say, oh, it's a minor thing, it's free. I know it's free. Okay, I know it's free. I'm going to back out until he's not there anymore. So I've got to create another layer for the other element. And then I could paste them in, right? And now, if I want to change anybody, now I can, if I want to go move her around, see, the whole thing like moves. Now I could move her independently of him because I'm dealing with individual layers. But it's just, to me, it's just counterintuitive. It's a pain in the butt. You spend a little bit of money on something like this. And I'm not selling this app. I'm kind of selling it to you, but I'm not making anything off it. So now if I go to good old Sasquatch here, and I copy him, paste them in. See, all this is handled by the app. I don't have to sit here and worry about layers and, the same thing with text, with the paint.net. If I want to throw text into this thing, I have to remember. And sometimes when you're working, you don't remember, you do it, and then you mess it up. You got to go back. It's a pain in the butt. Then you have to go back, recreate the layer for the text. So if I want to do text, I got to sit here and do it this way. This is not fun because it's not when you have to think too much about it instead of being creative. Then you could go change around the fonts and the colors of the fonts and stuff like that. You could move it around. Again, if you you can move it that way because you worried about the layer. You did it manually. Over here, again, you just simply go in, you simply create whatever text you want. Sorry, I'm not a good typer. This is fun. Right, and with this one also, the other one you can't drag it. You've got to go to the little font size on the other program and do that. With this, you can literally. It's just so cool. It's got little things like this you can do. You just select it and you select a new color. It's just so much more fun and intuitive. It doesn't hamper my creativity. It doesn't my computer. I actually have a pretty good computer, but sometimes going through fonts, I guess, I don't know. All right, so you see, and I can go through at any time and play with any of these elements independently and move them around without having to worry about the layers are here, right? But it knows when I select it what I'm working with. And when I export it and flatten it out to a PNG file or something, then it will all be merged, right? And then that final product you can't edit anymore, but you save your project file where you can play around. And it's just so much more intuitive and fun. So I just wanted to show that you can do a lot of the same things with these apps, right? But working in something like this, for me, it's just not worth the free price versus, what, $30 to $50 for this, depending on, they run specials all the time. This is available for Windows and Mac. On Linux, you'd have to have something else completely. Even this one here is just, I think, Windows only. I have all three of these affinities. I used to use a Mac before it died. I can't justify the cost of a new Mac with the prices of PCs. So I happen to, when I bought it, I bought Windows and Mac versions. And unfortunately, with this, you do have to buy separate versions for the platform. They don't, you can't buy Windows and then have the Mac key. It doesn't work that way. Mostly because of the Apple Store versus the Windows Store, even though you can buy it directly from the company. So it is cross-platform in that respect. On Linux, you'd have to use something like GIMP, which I don't like. So anyway, I just wanted to illustrate that and show you that, this can be fun or it can be a pain depending on which software you choose. And sometimes a nominal fee is really worth it for less aggravation and more not having to crimp your creativity worrying about layers and things like that. If I've done this completely wrong and you think, then go ahead and clue me in. But I've used this paint thing in programs like this for a while, and I just, once I started using the Affinity stuff, for me, there's no going back. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.